not want an easier term? Of course you do. So today we're going to be talking about 5 different ways that you can make life easier for you so that you've been loving the fact that you stepped up to be a PTO leader. For reals. So the first thing that makes your term easier as a PTO leader is to have enough volunteers. So one of the keys to having enough volunteers is to actually never stop recruiting. So that membership drive that you were having in the fall and you thought was like one and done, really, you should keep up that spirit and always be asking people to get involved. Always be asking people to come to the meeting. Let them know about what's coming up. And you know what's coming up because you've made a calendar of events that you can share with them. The second thing that makes for an easier term is to be organized. I'm talking about you personally. Do you have a binder that you use for all of your PTO stuff to keep it all in one place? All of your notes, your contacts, the budget, your bylaws, all that good stuff should be condensed into one binder that you have at your fingertips pretty much whenever you need it so that you're not looking for the information. I personally hate having to dig for information, especially the same information over and over again. That's why I like to get organized and have a planner. So I have everything in one place, easy for me to get the information that I need without fuss or muss. The other aspect of being organized is also to organize your PTO stuff into a cloud file system. So I don't know if your group is currently using Google Drive or what have you, but just make sure that you have everything organized so that you can find things. It is far easier to just update an existing flyer with the new details than it is to begin from scratch. So if you have an annual event like PTA Founders Day, you can just go in there, add new graphics. I always just make copies of things and then tweak it to fit whatever my current needs are and change whatever needs to be updated from year over year. That takes a whole lot less time than having to reformat the flyer or the event program. I have another video about how to organize your PTO's records and as well as a blog post, so I'll drop links to those in the description below. The third thing that you really need for an easy term is a support network. I'm talking about people that you can rely on when you need some help or just their ear for you to complain or to help celebrate or whatever. It is good for you to be able to vent your frustrations, get those out so that you're not like finding that your shoulders are seizing up to your ears because you're so tense and tight and stressed out from everything because you have no outlet. So really having a strong support network is key. Now, I already mentioned this earlier, but having a calendar so you know what's next up on the hit list is absolutely fundamental. I will also drop a link for a calendar template that I have and love to use because it is so easy for seeing everything that's going on for the year all in one place. There are not a lot of details on it, so it's perfect for printing out and posting up on a fridge. But it's also helpful once you have that calendar in place to go ahead and do all of your building permits at that time so that that is all done and you know that you have dedicated space. The school is ready for you to come for your event or program. The last thing that makes for an easier term is to know what the heck you're supposed to be doing. Stepping into a new role can be super overwhelming, especially if you don't know what you're supposed to be doing. Like, what are the goals for your role? What are the guidelines you're supposed to be following? Are there laws that you need to make sure that you're complying with by submitting different filings? Like a treasurer, you have to be filing your 990 every year, and your nonprofit, sometimes your charitable registration, occasionally things that need to be updated that really can impact the financial status of your group and the tax exempt status of your group. So if those aren't being done, then that can be spell trouble for your group and can be really stressful and take a lot longer to kind of come back from that and to fix the mistake rather than just go ahead and comply with things. So be sure you know what you are doing. And if you're not sure what you're supposed to be doing in your role, I have a whole bunch of resources for explaining how to be the best and how to be the best president or how to be the best secretary for your PTO. It kind of lays out the job description. And of course, you're going to want to take that information in concert with your bylaws and standing rules to kind of fill in the details. But generally, the blog post that I'm going to link to in the description below about how to be the best officer with each specific officer kind of laid out. Those are like general, like global things. And then for the details and the specifics for how your group runs, because no two PTOs run the same, all groups are different in some respect, even in the same school district. I found that my lower elementary school PTA runs much different from the upper elementary, which runs much different from the junior high and then the high school, right? Because there are different needs in the schools, and so things are not the same. We're similar, but not the same. So there you have it. Those are 5 things that can make for an easier term, and they're all pretty easy to get. So I encourage you to look for those things. And I do hope that you enjoyed this video, and I see you in the next one.
Want even more guidance on how to be a stronger leader so you can run a better PTO or PTA? All these resources and more are waiting for you at PTOanswers.com.